Have you ever looked back and thought, that was my moment and I wasn't ready? Maybe an opportunity came too early. Maybe the right door opened when you weren't prepared to walk through it. Here's the truth most people learn too late. Opportunity doesn't wait for perfect timing. It arrives quietly, unexpectedly, and only once. This story isn't about luck. It's about readiness and what happens when preparation finally meets opportunity. The story opens with a simple but carefully designed moment. A professor walks into the classroom carrying a large glass jar in his hands. He does not rush, does not speak, and does not explain himself. Yet, from the very first step, his calm, confidence, and quiet authority immediately draw the student's attention. Conversations fade, curiosity grows, and the room slowly becomes silent. Without a single word, the professor places the jar on the table, allowing its presence to speak for itself. This deliberate silence is not accidental. It is the foundation of the lesson. Instead of beginning with definitions or instructions, the professor chooses action over explanation. The jar, though ordinary in appearance, begins to take on symbolic weight, quietly representing life and its limited space. The students do not yet understand this, but they sense that something meaningful is about to unfold. By withholding information, the professor invites observation, reflection, and participation. The classroom transforms from a place of passive listening into a space of discovery. This teaching approach highlights a powerful truth. Lessons are remembered more deeply when they are experienced rather than explained. At this stage, the story emphasizes awareness. Just as the students are drawn into watching closely, the audience is invited to do the same. The professor's entrance signals that this lesson is not about exams or grades, but about choices, priorities, and how we choose to fill our lives. As the lesson shifts from the quiet symbolism of the classroom to the noise of the real world, the story introduces a very different setting and a very different kind of student. We are taken into a busy city filled with ambition, competition, and unspoken hierarchies, where an upscale restaurant called the Sterling Oak stands as a meeting place for power and privilege. Here works Daniel, a 32-year-old waiter who, on the surface, seems far removed from the life he truly wants. For 8 years, he has served executives, celebrities, and decision-makers, not because waiting tables is his dream, but because it allows him to survive while quietly pursuing a bigger goal, becoming a business consultant. What sets Daniel apart is not his position, but how he shows up to it. While other waiters complain, rush through shifts, or do only what is required, Daniel treats every shift as if it matters. His uniform is immaculate, his service intentional, his knowledge of the menu precise. Co-workers laugh at his effort, insisting that no one important is paying attention, but Daniel believes otherwise. Guided by a lesson from his grandfather, he lives by a simple philosophy. The luckiest people are not lucky they are ready. Even in obscurity, Daniel prepares relentlessly, studying during breaks, refining his skills at night, and updating a portfolio no one has yet requested. This part of the story highlights a crucial truth. Excellence practiced in silence is not wasted. It is preparation waiting for its moment. Just as Daniel's quiet preparation has become a way of life, the story moves into the moment that tests whether readiness truly matters. On a particularly chaotic Friday night, the Sterling Oak is pushed to its limits. The restaurant is fully booked, the kitchen is running behind schedule, and several waiters have called in sick. Stress hangs in the air, and most of the staff are barely holding things together. Daniel, now covering twice his normal section, moves quickly from table to table, calm on the outside despite the pressure. Then, at exactly 8:47 p.m., the manager approaches him in a rush and assigns him a VIP table. The guest is Robert Chen, CEO of Titan Consulting Group, one of the most influential consulting firms in the country. In that instant, opportunity arrives, but not in a dramatic or obvious way. It does not announce itself as a job offer or an interview. It arrives as a tired man sitting alone, simply needing dinner. For a brief moment, fear rises in Daniel. He knows the name, he understands what this could mean, but instead of panicking, he remembers something deeper. He has been preparing for moments like this every single day. Daniel serves with quiet excellence, offering thoughtful recommendations and genuine professionalism without trying to impress. Slowly, Robert's attention sharpens. The questions he asks go beyond food. They test awareness, confidence, and character. This moment reveals a powerful truth. Opportunity often looks ordinary, and only the prepared recognize it for what it is. Building naturally from the quiet excellence Daniel has shown throughout the evening, the story now reaches its moment of truth. As the plates are cleared and the meal comes to an end, Robert Chen looks up and asks a simple but life-changing question. What do you do when you're not serving wine? This is the moment Daniel has unknowingly prepared for over years of discipline and patience. He does not hesitate. He does not apologize for his current position or downplay himself. Instead, he speaks calmly and clearly about his background in business consulting, his education, the courses he has taken, and the portfolio he has maintained, despite never being asked to show it. What impresses Robert is not just Daniel's knowledge, but his mindset. He recognizes someone who has been preparing without guarantees. Robert then shares a lesson from his own past, comparing opportunity to rain. You cannot decide when it falls, he explains, but you can choose whether you stand there with an umbrella or an empty bucket. Most people avoid inconvenience and uncertainty. Those who succeed remain open and ready. With that, Robert hands Daniel his business card and offers him an interview. He makes one thing clear: many people could have served that table, but only one was ready. In this moment, years of invisible effort finally turn into visible opportunity. The story reinforces a powerful truth. Every moment is an interview, and readiness is revealed long before opportunity arrives. Following the powerful encounter at the restaurant, the story makes an important shift. Instead of celebrating or assuming success is guaranteed, Daniel does what he has always done: he prepares. The business card in his hand is not a victory, it is a responsibility. Throughout the weekend, he reviews every case study in his portfolio, researches Titan Consulting Group's recent projects, and practices his answers until they feel natural rather than memorized. By the time he arrives early for the interview on Monday morning, Daniel is calm, focused, and grounded. He is not hoping to impress. He is ready to perform. The interview itself is intense, lasting hours, and filled with challenging questions. Yet nothing feels unfamiliar to Daniel. The knowledge he accumulated during long nights and quiet breaks now proves its worth. When Robert Chen finally asks, "When can you start working?" Daniel's life shifts permanently, but the transformation does not end there. Over the next 2 years, Daniel's career accelerates rapidly. He leads major projects, earns promotions, and is eventually invited to speak at professional conferences. When colleagues ask how he became so lucky, Daniel always gives the same answer: he wasn't lucky, he was ready. This section reinforces a crucial lesson. Opportunity opens the door, but preparation determines how far you walk through it. Readiness must continue even after success begins. As Daniel's transformation becomes clear, the story steps back and draws meaning from his experience by presenting 3 core lessons about readiness. First, it reminds us that every moment is preparation, whether we realize it or not. The small tasks we dismiss, the effort no one sees, and the discipline we maintain in obscurity are quietly shaping our ability to handle greater responsibility later. Nothing is wasted when it is done with intention. Second, the story reveals that opportunity almost never looks the way we expect. It rarely arrives as a clear invitation or perfect moment. More often, it appears ordinary, inconvenient, and easy to overlook, like a busy shift, a tired client, or an unremarkable conversation. Those who are waiting for something dramatic usually miss it. Third, the story challenges the idea of luck itself. The difference between lucky and unlucky people is not fate, timing, or talent, but preparation. Lucky people are simply those who kept learning, practicing, and improving while others relaxed, complained, or waited for permission. Together, these lessons reframe success as a daily habit rather than a single event. Daniel did not create opportunity in that restaurant. He revealed who he had already become. When opportunity arrived, it did not change him, it exposed his readiness. With these lessons firmly in place, the story turns its focus directly toward the listener and delivers its final call to action. At this very moment, you may be waiting for recognition, a breakthrough, a new beginning, or a sign that it is finally your turn. But the story makes one thing clear. Waiting without preparation is not patience. It is surrender. Opportunity does not arrive on our timetable, and it does not pause to give warnings. It comes when it is ready, not when we are. When that moment arrives, there are only two possibilities: you will be prepared to step forward, or you will watch it pass and wonder what could have been. This realization is not meant to create fear, but responsibility. You may not be able to control when opportunity appears, but you can always control your readiness. Prepare your skills before they are demanded. Take small tasks seriously. Practice excellence even when no one seems to be watching. These habits are not invisible. They are shaping who you will be when it matters most. The story ends with a powerful image. When opportunity reigns, do not hide beneath comfort or routine. Stand ready with an empty bucket. The world does not reward potential, it rewards preparedness. This is the end of the video. Thank you very much for listening. See you again in the next video. Please like and comment to subscribe to the channel, to support the channel, to produce better videos.